Hello everyone, it's Jubilant Rich here, and yeah, I know it's been a long time, but whatever. So, I'm just going to give you a quick recap of my visit to Warhammer World yesterday. As you saw by my short, I was preparing an Intercession Squad Kill Team for that event, and according to the short, I said that I wasn't going to take them because they weren't finished and I felt ashamed to take them. I'm glad I changed my mind, because whenever I actually did just bite the bullet and just take them, I had a whale of a time. Like, I haven't played Kill Team since the last Warhammer World meetup, so I was fairly nervous about playing a completely new team, you know, without any like recent practice. But it went quite well. I'll give you a quick recap of all three games that I played. First off, my opponent was Toby, who you might remember from Paint Slave, and he was running his... No, actually it wasn't Toby, sorry. I was actually facing Painting Sally's first, because Krista McDowell, who actually set up the little gathering of folks, I basically did a bit of a sort of listing of opponents sort of thing. So I was matched up against Painting Sally's Benny, and Benny was playing Vet Guard. Last time I was at Warhammer World, I faced the Vet Guard and hated him. But because Benny was actually wanting to try out some of the Arctarius missions, he rolled off for it, and he ended up getting evacuation inbound, and he chose to be the defender. And I thought, okay, that's fine. So obviously the way the mission goes is the defender has half of their team set up on basically a fort on top of that, and then the rest of their guys can possibly come in later on, but they will all the rest of them will come in at the start of the third turning point. On the second turning point, he rolled to try and get someone, and he got one extra dude, but obviously on the third turning point, the rest of them came on. That game went with me getting 22 points. We're going to have to double check whether or not that's actually right or not, because apparently I was getting 3 victory points every time I killed one of his spies, which is apparently what you class the ones who are already on the table, not the reinforcement sort of thing. So yeah, I ended up killing obviously all 7 of his spies, and I think I got like another point from one of my TAC ops or something, whereas Benny got about maybe 8, I think, victory points the entire game. I felt kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie, mostly because I did run the durable trait, but also ran rapid. I mean, yeah, I'll come back to that in a bit. My actual faction, my chapter tactics choices. Anyway, that was my game against Benny. The game against Toby was my second game, and he was running Intercession as well, but he was running them as White Scars. So as a fluff player, my hat was off to him, he went with Rapid and Raider. I'm pretty sure Raider didn't come up once, but Rapid certainly did. Well, I'd say help him, but the thing is, I won that match as well. The mission was Duel of Wits, and it was actually, again, a fun game. I think the most interesting thing was because he'd challenged my my sergeant with his sergeant, right? I mean, he thought, because he went with the power weapon and heavy bolt pistol loadout, he was expecting to win, even, you know, regardless, right? So his sergeant charged my sergeant, and I managed to get 5 regular successes in my fight back roll, whereas he got only 4 successes. Bottom line, it ended up with my guy on I think 2 wounds left, and his sergeant, who he expected to win this fight, was just gutted with a chainsword, and it was a shame. So yeah. And then the final match, I wasn't even going to play another one. I was actually ready to go back so I can get home, see the missus and the kid, maybe watch some TV, right? But I was like, but Brian Paints, basically asked if I wanted a game, and I thought, well, I haven't faced Brian like in any of the previous meetups, and surely I can get a just quick game in, just, you know, 0-4, just whatever. And because he'd already had the board set up for his game against Benny, where it was set up for, what is it called? Consecrate Ground. So that's what the mission we played. He was running Custodes. I haven't faced Custodes pre or post nerf, or I hadn't. And then facing him that thing, I was like, whoa. Even with the nerf, they felt a little much. But there's only 4 guys, and that's the issue. Is like when you've got 4 guys that are Custodes and 6 guys who are like mini Custodes, you kind of want to put your money on the mini Custodes, and you'd be right to do so. So I won that match as well. Yeah, but. Yeah, every single game was fun. I even for the opponent, you know, there was some really hilarious rolls, some interesting moments. It was just it was just a fun time all around. I used to think so. So I'm looking forward to the next meetup, and it's actually inspired me to even actually go, you know, full steam ahead. When I after a little bit of a rest with my Intercession squad, because I was really happy with the progress I was making, and even more happy with the progress of a team that I can actually win games with. So they're not just going to be shelved after a half work. Instead, I'm going to complete the work and maybe take them. I mean, I might even take Marines to a tournament if I ever actually go to any more tournaments later on. Most of the events I've been to have just been like little gatherings, nothing really competitive. And I think that might have also been part of why I won, you know, all 3 games, is because us guys that go to these meetups, we're not especially competitive players, we're more the filthy casuals. And I feel like Intercession are a competitive team, and I was playing them competitively. Like, I was doing some things which I wouldn't do with, say, Gene Stealer cultists. Like, whenever I'm playing Horde armies, even though I've got the numbers, I still play KG, still try to keep as many people back as possible because, you know. But with the Intercession, I felt like I was just going full aggressive for the most part in every single game. I mean, in some of them you had to, obviously, with like if you're attacking in evacuation and bound, you pretty much have to go aggressively. And with the Duel of Wits, again, I feel like that's another aggressive one. But what Brian noticed whenever we played, you know, was that I was the one guy who was like, yeah, fuck this sitting back shit, just go, just get it on there, go up there, kill things, get on the objectives, etc., etc. And I think it worked out really well for me. So I've found my niche. Until such a time as they actually release some sort of specialist Tyrannid kill team. Wormblade, I like Genes to the Cultist, but Wormblade, they just feel too much like every team's the same shit, you know what I mean? I was going to say something else. Oh, yeah. In regards to the GSC, I almost feel like I want to try and I don't know if Games Workshop are planning on doing this already. I feel like I want to try and make a specialist kill team for the other half of the Gene Stealer cults. You know, the acolytes, the metamorphs. I dare say even aberrants, but I feel like maybe they don't need the aberrants. If they kept them out of the game before, maybe it was for a reason. maybe one. I mean, you've got teams running around with fucking ogres. Oh, sorry, ogrins and nightmare hulks and shit like that. So big hulking dudes are clearly not off of the table. But I don't know. But yeah, I might just try and sit down and just do custom rules for that sort of shit, you know? Just because I really like acolytes and metamorphs, so to not have them in Wormblade really stings. But yeah, so that's my recap of my games of Kill Team at the Warhammer World. Yeah, that's about it. At some point, Toby and I are actually going to do a video together. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but suffice it to say that it will be in relation to my recent love of the Intercession Kill Team. And, he and I are going to sit down, have a little chat, and you guys are hopefully going to witness it. Not going to put any sort of date on when that's going to appear, but it's basically just whenever he and I find a time. So, in the meantime, please like, please subscribe, please recommend me to your friends, please follow me on Twitter at JubilantRich. Yeah. Oh yeah, and comment as well. Oh, you know, the comment that you could probably put down is, "Hey, Rich, what was your what was your chapter tactics that you picked?" I mean, I already said one of them, didn't I? So I guess if you comment, maybe I'll tell you the other one. It was aggressive, right? Okay, I played with I played with the aggressive trait, and it barely even came up in any of the games. So apparently, you don't need to field it as durable and methodical or durable and rapid to win every single game. But hey, anyway, yeah. So like, subscribe, blah blah blah, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a good evening.